What's up, everybody? This is Champion here. Today is February 5th, 2019, and this is episode 4, right? Episode 4?
Yes, I believe so.
Uh, it's only 4 episodes. I lost count already. Jesus. But, yeah, we're here, and we got a bunch of news. We got a bunch of cool stuff. We also got a Resident Evil 2 review towards the end of the episode, so you might want to stick around for that. We're going to talk about a few things going on, a crazy announcement that Microsoft made that we're going to break down, give our theories on, because we don't have too much to go on off that. And then we're also going to break down our experience with the brand new game that came out by EA, Apex, what was it? Apex
Legends. It's actually, well, I mean, we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. Yeah, you'll find out. Dun dun. Suspense. Like, you just stop it. It's actually... And we just stop it right there. They'll find out when we talk about it. But first, I really want to get into this Microsoft news. I mean, okay, so if you guys didn't know, Microsoft basically said, oh yeah, Microsoft Live is coming to the, they said that, right? Microsoft Live is coming to the Nintendo Switch and to mobile devices. And people were there like, that sounds neat. But what is that?
I'm pretty sure you're understating it.
But the
more
thing,
than...
It's
it
not.
Sounds neat. I mean, it's showing that like Microsoft is willing to expand its horizons. Like, they're not focused on like, okay, exclusives like, you know, Sony. Like, they really want to push that games as a service and streaming service.
But my thing is, like, we don't know what it is though. Like, they made that announcement. They're like, yeah, we'll explain it a little later. You'll get what we mean.
And also, like, the fact that it's a Nintendo Switch, I mean, that shows that Nintendo's like willing, not just like, they don't want to compete with Microsoft. I mean, they always blow Microsoft out of the water. Not always, you know, Wii U, but most of the time they do.
Yeah, you can't be a straightforward
it really
competitor.
Shows that like they're opening up. You know, why should we compete with also Microsoft? Why can't we work together? Because Microsoft still makes more money than Nintendo. And when it comes to like, you know, the online services and game compatibility and the streaming service, the Game Pass, all that, Microsoft beats Nintendo out of the water, like, hands down, because that's their thing. That's their market. I mean, even Sony, my Xbox Live is definitely better than PS. What is it called? PS Now or whatever.
Yeah, but
I really want to see what they.
But
how they go about it.
I wouldn't say, like, yeah, I guess, but like the PlayStation service is actually better, I think, because the PlayStation, at least like not the streaming service. I'm talking about the what's it called, the online service. PSN, I think, is a lot better because they actually offer a lot better games. I mean, I was looking at some of the games, like the games that they're releasing for this month. Let me see if this is off topic. I'm gonna go look it up now. But what's it called? Well, we still don't know exactly what that means. So we have, you know, it could mean anything though. It could mean, yeah, you can stream any game you want on the Xbox to your Switch, or you can only stream certain games. You know, they haven't specified what games can we do. You know, what will they mean? Period. Like, you know. But again, if we can stream games, like any Xbox game we want, period, straight to our Switch, it's like, wow, Microsoft, you gave us an actual reason to buy a Xbox One, and and probably a future Xbox, you know, the whatever console they come out with, the Scorpion. They're actually giving us reasons to buy the console, which is something that people had been looking for a long freaking time. It's like, geez, it's about time.
Yeah,
and Microsoft, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've never even stepped a foot on the or no, I don't want to say stepped a foot. That's an incorrect way to say it. But I don't think they've ever had a market for handheld gaming, right? I know Sony had the PSP.
They never dipped their toes in that.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
What you're trying to say.
They never dipped their toes into it.
Sony has, and they actually created a great console, but they marketed it wrong.
The
PS Vita was basically a portable, you know, console experience back in the day when it came out in 2011, but they just didn't market it right, you know.
Well, I mean, portable, like in your house. Yeah, I mean, like.
No, I mean, we gotta remember it came out with the PS3 era. And you can play PS3 games on the Vita.
I don't know. There had
And
been.
I'm not saying like streaming. I'm saying like straight up. You know what I mean? Like it's the games that are on the PS3 that are also on the Vita. But yeah, I guess it's the then the Switch is obviously more powerful, but the 3DS just did better. And
But
I mean,
yeah,
we're talking about handheld consoles right now, but we straight off topic. But yeah, that's basically we're talking about Nintendo and Sony.
I
Yeah.
still like this is so yeah. So since Microsoft
And
to me
Microsoft kind of just watched from the sidelines. They watched. They really didn't.
This is smart
know.
though. This is smart because now what they're basically doing is okay. Here's the thing. We're gonna make this so we can work with you guys. We can work with y'all, Nintendo. But not only can we work with y'all, but you still have to buy an Xbox console to be able to do this. So we're still gonna be able to sell consoles.
Yes, and if it streams like better with like the newer consoles, I mean that just straight up like sells. The Xbox One X or the Xbox whatever that comes out.
Yeah, and it's like okay, you have exclusives, and then I look at Sony and it's like, but I can play their games on the go. I can tell Sony like I can't do that with you unless they develop a new PlayStation Portable. And again, that's gonna be a lot harder on Sony. I feel like Sony has more. It's more concentrated on its main console right now. So let's see. I really think it's a smart move by Microsoft if it is going in that direction that we think it's heading in. Again, we don't specifically know what's gonna happen. It just said Xbox Live on Switch and mobile. Now I don't know how it will work on mobile. Like can you use your controller on the phone? Or is it touchscreen? Like I don't that just seems very gimmicky and like it wouldn't work and your phone would die in 2 seconds. But on the Switch, I can totally see it happening. And I'm not saying it's not gonna work on the phone. I'm just saying I doubt it'll be very like usable on the phone. Like maybe for a few games here and there, but
the Switch probably won't last that long either.
It'll last longer than the than your phone. You get me? And still, I'd rather have a dead Switch than a dead phone.
Depends what phone you have, yeah, because the Switch doesn't really have a great battery life. I mean, it lasts like 3 hours.
Yeah, but it's made specifically for gaming though. I mean, can a phone run Zelda? I mean, and if it could, it would
if it's
die.
Streaming, then it'll be nothing different as your.
That's the thing though. If it's streaming games.
Well, yeah, you're definitely gonna be streaming. It's not like.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Like streaming wise, I think fully charged Switch and a phone. I don't know. I haven't tried it on my phone. You get me? So I don't know how big of a battery killer that is. But I know on the Switch, it should last a decent amount of time because 3 hours on a good game. If you're streaming it, it shouldn't take that long because you're not really running that game. You're streaming it, so I can say 4 or 5 hours maybe, which to me that's really good. And again, it's okay because you can you're only gonna be able to do this from your house. I mean, do you ever see this maybe with the Xbox Scorpio? That they're able to develop the technology to turn your Xbox Scorpio into like basically I don't know how to say it, a server basically for your own personal server for your Nintendo Switch. That if for some reason you can get a connection somewhere else in another location, Wi-Fi. Yeah, you connect to a Wi-Fi in another location. Let's say you go to the mall or something, you connect to the freaking Wi-Fi at the Starbucks. Could you connect back to your Xbox? You get me? Like maybe with the new Xbox you could do that. They could maybe with the Scorpio you could. I'm just thinking of these crazy ideas and stuff like that where it's like you don't even have to be in your house to stream these games.
I mean,
and then like the Xbox Scorpio can behave almost more like a server.
It's almost like a dream.
It's not that crazy. You could do it with movies. I know there's like an app that I use that if you keep your computer on, it basically uses your computer like a server. And as long as your computer is on, you can watch movies that you downloaded onto your PC anywhere, like where you go with your phone. And, you don't have to be in the same household. So again, if, PCs are capable of doing that, if that technology exists. So it's not crazy. You get me?
Yeah.
But I would have to think that Microsoft had this idea since the get-go, since the Switch got announced. So they were like, hey, we should implement this, I don't think you can implemented last second, like just like that. But let's see where it goes. So I don't know if you want to move on into the new IP from
Yeah.
we can move on to that. There's a new IP, new video game by EA, America's most hated company. I know. The video
I think it's
game
the world's most hated
country. It's a country now. I mean,
Yeah,
basically, it's a
I messed up. The world's most hated
company.
company. Yeah.
I mean,
I couldn't
basically,
even
it probably has enough assets to become its own small country. But so yeah, EA came out with this game called I said Epic, Apex Legends. So basically, it's a battle royale game, sort of Fortnite, PUBG. Insert your favorite battle royale game. It came out for free, and that surprised me. And me and Sentry were playing it. Basically, we were trying to stream like at 11, and we basically ended up streaming like at 12:30, 12:20 because of we're recording this episode at 12:20, 12:30 now because of we got really distracted with the game. It's I liked it.
No, yeah, I love it. I mean, we only played probably like 30 minutes of it, but it was great.
Yeah, EA hit it out the park. Even though I think Respawn had more to do with this success than EA, I do like the fact that it was not teased or I think the day before was when they made the announcement. So the fact that like they barely marketed this game, and I like that. Because what I realized was that Fortnite and PUBG weren't marketed, at least in the beginning. PUBG, later on, I started seeing more commercials for it, but when I saw the commercials, the fan base was already there. And Fortnite, again, you didn't have any sort of big marketing schemes and stuff like that with either game, and they blew up. And then every other battle royale game that I've seen that has a big marketing scheme behind it doesn't tend to do as well. So I like that EA was just like, let's just drop it and let's see what happens. And I mean, maybe, and again, I don't know the dealings that go behind a certain company. It almost feels like Respawn was like, yo, we're just gonna release this now, and EA was like, okay, fine, yeah, you guys do that. Yeah, fine, sure, we'll release it now for you guys, and that's it. But so yeah, it fixes.
I mean, I feel bad for Respawn because they've been, they've been hurt by EA itself,
Yeah, I mean, they've produced good games. That's why Fallout 2 was very good game.
But
and
EA heard it releasing it next to Battlefield 1, and they marketed the hell out of Battlefield 1. So
was it? I don't think it was that close to Battlefield 1. I remember them came out like there was significant amount of space, I think, between both games. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but at least a decent amount of time. But this game again, it does fix a lot of the problems you have with these types of genres. First things first, you can assign a drop leader, and what a drop leader is, wherever that person decides to drop, the other two
7 days apart.
7 days? Okay, actually that's not that much.
October 21 for 2016 for Battlefield 1. October 28th, 2016.
They're both great shooters, so kind of sucks that.
Yeah, it was like they hurt. Obviously Battlefield is a stronger company, and it was first time going
IP.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was first time going back. It was back since until Battlefield 1, all we had was like modern shooters, I guess.
Yeah, but what's it called? So again, it fixes a lot of the tropes you get with a battle royale game. So you basically have the game automatically assigns a drop leader. That person will pick where they want to drop. And here's the thing, you can decide to give the drop leader duties to another player. You can give them up. You can also decide, no, I don't want to drop with you. I want to drop on my own. But for people that want to drop at the same time in the same exact area, a problem that I have a lot in Fortnite. I don't play PUBG, so I don't know if this happens in PUBG, but I know it happens a lot in Fortnite where teams will drop in different, the same team will try to drop in the same area, and they will miscalculate it, and they will kind of be split off. And then again, if you get split off from your team because you miscalculated by a few seconds, and you encounter an enemy team that decided to drop correctly, you're gonna be screwed. So
yeah, what I mean is all it is. What makes a great battle royale game, because now it's oversaturated the market. It's a bunch of there's plenty of battle royale games out there. But what puts this differently in its own league is the UI. It's clean, it's crisp,
Oh
everything
yeah,
works fine.
UI was
The
very understandable. I mean,
I mean,
I
I have a
needed,
good PC,
yeah,
but I've played PUBG on my PC, and like sometimes it lags. Like no, it the frame rate dips a bit, and like my PC is like really expensive, so that's not me. That's the game. But this
no,
was 60 FPS at the highest, very high settings, and it was just super clean, crisp. It was really great.
The UI was great, and I didn't need like, with Fortnite, I was like, hold up, how do I do this again? How do I? And like I would forget sometimes how to just use the UI. It wasn't the most intuitive thing. This UI was, again, to the point. It was perfect. Everything is streamlined about this. Okay, the biggest difference between this and a few other battle royale games. This is the beauty. Like me and Sentry just experienced it the last game. That's why I was really happy we played it before we talked about it. So I got killed, right? And like any other battle royale game, okay, that's it. Just wait for your teammates to die, and just pray, that they're able to either win without you or just wait for you them to die. But, and here's the thing, by the way, I forgot to say, there's 3 players per team. That's right now the standard. I don't know if they're gonna add more
I
modes.
think it's good. Well, yeah, I mean more modes, but
It makes it a
that
lot
mode
more
is fine.
straight, tactical
And it's
shooter.
really cool how like you have to. It's that like you were just saying. It's very like Overwatch tactical feeling.
Yeah, and then so again, it has a lot of cool stuff. And then so yeah, I had gotten killed. Champion got murdered, and is Sentry and the third player we were playing with, some random guy who was playing amazing. I mean, I felt bad for him. We were dragging him down, the poor guy. Shouts out to him. He took my banner. Basically, after I died, he took my banner. And he took me to a respawn point. And I'm there talking with Sentry, and I'm like, okay, so I'm guessing I'm able to respawn. That's pretty cool. Like, I don't know how it's going to work. And then I'm like, it cuts to a scene of a plane. And I'm like, hold up, why? I'm like, do you see the plane? I'm like, because I was obviously observing Sentry play. So as I was observing him play, I just see out of nowhere a plane show up, and I'm like, do you see the plane? And you're like, what plane? And I'm like,
Yeah, and I looked up, and a plane came.
yeah, and I was like, oh my god, the plane opens up, and I'm in the plane, and I'm like, oh my god, and I respawned back into the map. I jump back down. It's amazing. That was so cool, because you can't just easily respawn your teammates. It actually takes work and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
obviously,
well, at least I've only played PUBG, and I've played Fortnite. But when you're dead, like not like downed, but when you're dead, you're dead. You can't respawn.
yeah, it's over. You
So I
gotta
like
just
that
wait.
system because what if you're by yourself, then you gotta and then you can actually like camp those respawns places.
Yeah, and I feel like, again, it's not gonna be cheap, because you can't just respawn them out of nowhere. If you're in an intense situation, you can't just especially when the map's getting smaller. And when the map's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, you're gonna run out of options, and you're gonna be in a tight situation, and sometimes you're gonna have to, you're gonna be outnumbered. But again, you're able to, if you die early in the game, and your team's able to either run away or just kill, or because you're gonna have to either. That's the thing, though. You have to recover the banner. So either way, you have to take that team out. You're gonna have to take that team out when you recover the banner. Now, I'm not sure if, because our teammate, well, he was awesome. So every time somebody took me out, he would take out the entire team. So because
Yeah,
he
he
was
was great.
awesome. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you can just leave and then come back and then get the banner, or you have to kill, or if like they pick up your banner, you basically have to go and kill them. I think it's like that. Either way, I like that, because you can't just cheat and respond. You have to do something. You have to, it's skilled, and it's hard. It's hard to, well, depending on the scenario. But in early in game, if your team wins a firefight but you died, it's not end game, and I love that for it. And it basically took some of the biggest problems with battle royale games, and it addressed them, and it fixed them. I think Respawn just props up to them. Props to EA. And okay, yeah, it has loot boxes basically, but everything's cosmetic. everything is cheap. I think 10 loot boxes was what, $8.99, and then it was on sale. It's really like $9.99 for 10 loot boxes. So it's like what, $1 a loot box, and it's just skins again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just skins. No, you can't get a you cannot get a tactical advantage over anybody just because you spent money. And you can get unlucky. If somebody lands in like a building and grabs a bunch of attachments, then you're dead. But it's fine.
No, but that's given with every battle royale game.
Yeah.
But the another thing I like, it's also different because it also separates itself because it has different, you pick from different characters, and every character it has a little bit of Overwatch to it, as you pick, you're basically a hero or different type of fighter, and they all have different abilities, and they all fight a little bit. Well, I think they all fight the same, right? But they all have one or two different abilities that separates them from everybody else. I remember you tried the robot, and the grappling hook was really awesome.
Yeah.
I tried the I forgot the lady's name. There's two girls. Well, I started with a B. Was it like Banshee or?
I don't think it matters. She's the girl with the medic pack.
Not her. The other one. The one with the gun. But okay, no, it's okay. So I basically was using her. She was great, and I think her ability. She used a smoke bomb. I don't know if everybody uses a smoke bomb or it was just her that has a smoke bomb, and then she has an ultimate attack.
Yeah, everybody has their own ability.
Oh, okay. So
nobody shares abilities at all.
Okay, so she has basically like a smoke bomb and a it's like a rocket launcher thing. I never used it. I never had the ability to use it. I got killed before I was able to use it. But I can't find out to get back in the game and see what it does. Another cool thing was they call it the ping system. Basically, your ability to ping things. It's super easy and intuitive. I mean, I was able to, freaking, okay, yo, there's a weapon here. And again, here's the thing. There's a lot of dialogue in the game as well per character.
Yeah,
so
they talk to each other. They interact. They're like, okay, oh, we're still in the safe zone, or there's an enemy over there. Like, they speak. They don't just...
Which helps out when you're playing
when
with
you're not
strangers.
talking.
Yeah, when you're playing
You
with
don't
random
need-
people.
You don't really need it. Like, they actually talk about everything. Like, if you show off, like, hey, this is a legendary body armor, you can say that. And they say it. Hey, there's a legendary body armor kit here.
Yeah, and it's like if you ping a pistol, oh, there's a pistol here. And then if there's an enemy over here. There's an enemy by here. I saw an enemy in this general area. Like, great system, great. I don't know how we tried it on the PC and it worked fine. I don't know how well the pinging system works for console, but we'll find out. But again, great game, and I'm honestly surprised. Good job, EA. I just want to round of applause. Like, wow, EA.
Respawn.
Well, Respawn.
The developers.
Thank you, EA, for not messing it up. And I had this crazy idea that I was telling Sentry about. I'm like, why does EA just dedicate on releasing free games and just okay, it's a free game, you can monetize
they make
it.
billions of dollars out of the microtransactions, anyways.
They literally made how much was it off the Madden Ultimate Team app?
The mobile game, yeah, made $1 billion something.
Exactly, and that's a free
that was
game.
Just Madden. It wasn't like.
And it wasn't.
Have other
It wasn't even Madden. It was Madden Mobile. It was on the phone.
Yeah.
It was a free mobile game, and it's like.
And well, obviously it didn't cost $1 billion to make. Probably cost, I don't know, like $1 million or something. I'm sure the license is expensive.
They already have it though. They're the only people that have it, so
Yeah.
they already purchased it, so they don't have to repay for it again. You get me? So again, if Microsoft, if EA literally said, "Yo, we're only gonna release free games, but we're gonna monetize it however the hell we want to," I have no issues with that. That is to me a very positive step, and they will carve up their own sector of the market. Okay. So, cause that's what's doing it, yo. They literally they can release Ultimate Team for free. And that's it, and just do that. Like, they can release Madden every year for free, and then
I mean, they should.
I know I'm asking
honestly,
for a lot, but
yeah, I mean they could. I mean they also know though there's a big demographic that doesn't play Ultimate Team. I mean, you don't play Ultimate Team.
I
But
don't.
you always play Madden games.
Or you can make ultimate
So
the
they
ultimate
want to
team
make money
portion,
out of you. You know.
or they
That's
can
what
make the ultimate team portion of the game, free. Every year they renew it, and like that's it. Just make it free.
I mean, EA and Activision, they're not great gaming companies, but business-wise, they're very intelligent.
And the numbers are showing it. You know,
Yeah.
people are willing. I'm honestly willing to spend money on this Apex game. Are you willing to spend money on it? I'm willing to spend money on it.
Yeah, I mean, some of the skins are really cool.
Yeah,
And,
and here's the thing: I wouldn't spend money on Battlefront 2.
I've never spent a penny on Overwatch. Well, you know, obviously, I bought the game so many times.
Yeah, I never spent money
like,
on
any loot
Overwatch.
boxes or anything.
I think maybe if they had a sale one time, maybe I bought one, but I don't even remember. But again, it is wow. I was surprised. I was flabbergasted, and I think EA should go for that market. The free and then free games and monetize them however the hell you want.
Yeah.
And
that's...
again, if you create a good balanced game that people want to get good at and people desperately want to, improve at and show off how good they are at it and have a lot of customizability, you can make a lot of money. Trust me.
To be honest, this game, I mean, I love that it was free to play, but I'm surprised they didn't just sell it for like $30. Even then, it would have been worth it to me.
Yeah, and then the loot boxes aren't that terrible. Again, they're very cheap.
I love like free to play. Trust me, like it's
a big deal.
Incredible, yeah.
For us,
but like I'm saying, like I said, it's such a good game that I think it could honestly just have gone for $30 and it would still been like great.
Listen, I literally told you about it, and you're like, huh. Downloaded it and we played it.
I heard of it. I heard of it. There was some YouTubers posting videos, but I didn't know what it was.
But still, though, we literally watched the video. Huh. We downloaded it, played it right there. And, like, we played it.
Yeah.
And it's like, we like that. It was that simple. We didn't, for example, Anthem, we're still contemplating if we're going to buy it or not. Again, when it's going to come out, we're probably going to wait a week or two, wait for reviews to come out, and we're going to contemplate it forever. You got me?
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I used to be like, I got my friend into like those type of MMOs, like Destiny, the first Destiny. I got him into it, but then I'm the one who had left before, and he's still into Destiny games and stuff. And to me, it looks like a Destiny game, even though it's not. But
yeah, Destiny / maybe a little bit of Warframe, a little bit of a lot. Again, I don't mind it. My thing is like, okay, if you want to be a clone of a game, be a good clone. You get me? Like, what was that game, that PS4 exclusive that was a Dark Souls? Bloodborne. Again, Bloodborne was a great imitation of Dark Souls. And I'm like, if you're gonna imitate a game, at least do a good job of it, And if it does a good job of Destiny, then let's see. But again, Activision and EA have different methods to raping your wallets. Activision's there, we're gonna cut up your game DLC, and then EA is like, oh no, we're gonna give you the full game, we'll even give you free DLC, but any little thing you want in the game, yeah, you're gonna have to probably pay for it. So they have their own ways of cutting games up, but let's see how Anthem, or basically Destiny under EA's form of wallet raping, like, let's see how it would, how different it is from Destiny. But now that Destiny's gone, Bungie's gone from Activision, I don't think, we'll be making that comparison later on. But, again, Apex Legends, great game. Show it some love. Again, it's free. If you have a Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or PC, it is free. And again, my PC isn't the strongest ever. It's not like Sentry's PC that's super strong. And it ran it perfectly fine on all high settings. He ran it on all ultra high. I ran it on just normal high, and still ran perfect for me. So consider it. Great game. And here's the thing, I can blindly recommend the game because it's free. That's the thing. I can blindly recommend it. I don't have to be like, you have to be this specific demographic. Like, no, try it. If you don't like first person shooters or something, just try it. It's free. You're not gonna lose anything. You get me? So again, great job, EA. So let's move on to our Resident Evil 2 remake review. That's a lot of R's. Just said a lot of R's, but it's you played a lot of it, right? I played
Yeah.
I played all of it. I barely finished. I actually have a gameplay video, which I will basically it's more meant for like comedy purposes. It's basically me running away from Mr. X and all these zombies and stuff. And I'm kind of a scaredy cat. I'd hate to admit that, but I am a huge scaredy cat. So you're gonna hear me scream a lot.
Those games a lot more interesting. So.
Okay, so yeah, okay, Resident Evil. Wow, it is amazing. It honestly is truly like a great horror game. So let's just start off with the graphics, which we discussed in our first impressions. Amazing graphics, the detail, the gore. And here's the thing, I felt it had the right amount of gore. I feel like games, and again, this example I'm about to use, it's justified why it's like this, but my example is Doom. I think uses too much gore, but again, it fits with that style of gameplay. Same like Gears of War, it overcompensates on the gore, but that's kind of what the style it's going for. But I think Resident Evil would be a game that if you get way too gory, it just wouldn't help the game out. And trust me, it gets very gory. But again, it feels almost like realistic goriness. You get me? You don't just shoot a guy in the head. Like, here's the thing, I would shoot a zombie in the head, and their head wouldn't blow up automatically. I'd have to shoot them like 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and then on the floor shoot them a bunch more times, and then finally their head would blow up. Sometimes I would get lucky. Sometimes literally I would land on one bullet and their head would just blow up completely. Again, I would get very lucky. But I think the gore was just right for the game. And again, the not only the gore, but how the gore looks. Oh my god. This is probably the best gore in video games, like, that I can remember. Like, it's up there. It's up there with Doom and Gears of War, you know. They're gore kings, and it's up there, yo.
Yeah, it's very
it's realistic.
visceral.
Gritty. Really gritty.
But in a good way, because it's a zombie game.
Yeah, of course. So, and oh my god, one of the bosses you have to fight, one of the side bosses you have to fight, that guy, basically, when you encounter him, he has a big eye on his shoulder. That guy's disgusting. He's disgusting to look at. Like, I don't want to fight him because I don't want to look at him. And as you fight him, he starts mutating and stuff like that. Very disgusting, but beautiful at the same time. The enemies, the oh my god. So you have the normal zombies, which are, again, you can't sleep on them. You cannot rest on these zombies, because if you shoot them and kill them, you can just wait in that room for a few minutes. They will get back up. Okay, and there's some zombies that when you walk past them the first time playing the campaign, they're just dead bodies, and the second time you walk through, they're standing up. They're zombies again, and oh my god, I love that. It's probably the closest thing to legit zombies we've gotten in video games. You know, like at least the closest thing, you know, to when you compare them to pop culture and movies and stuff like that. This is the closest thing I've seen to that. You get me? You have to look around after you kill a zombie and make sure it's not standing back up. I love that. Okay, the zombies in this game, again, you can take them out. And here's the thing, some of them, and again, you'll see it in the gameplay video. One of them, it was a normal zombie. It wasn't strong, like it wasn't a super zombie or anything. Took 9 headshots to get down. And that's the thing. Sometimes it'll take 1 headshot to get down. Sometimes 9. So like the fact that they vary on how tough they are, kind of, you know, makes the game even more unpredictable and a lot more scarier. And here's the thing, your ammunition, very scarce, very scarce. It's just, you have to plan out everything. I don't know about you, Sentry, but I love that part where you basically have to plan out where you're gonna go, how much ammo you have, how much ammo you think you're gonna use. That's a layer strategy.
it's an old style like it's based on it's an old style game. Like I mean, not like it's a remake, but it still keeps all like its quirks and stuff that made the original really great.
Yeah,
And
it
yeah, I mean, it seems like original, like oh new, but it's just stuff that's been around for a long time. But it's great, basically. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I like that they knew what aspects to keep and what aspects to whatever negatives the original game have, they took it away and stuff like that. And sometimes a game developer will just give you a slightly HD version and just make it the exact same game, and then be lazy and be like, we wanted to give you the legit experience, so we barely changed anything. And it's like, no, we're gaming culture changes, and we're used to different things now. So the fact that they adapted to like the way gaming is nowadays, but still giving us that old experience. You gave old players that nostalgic experience. I never played Resident Evil 2. The only old Resident Evil game I played was 1. I never played part 2, but from people that have played it, they've said that it's a nostalgia trip at the same time, and it's also a brand new experience. That's not easy to do. That's a hard balance. You get me? So I love the fact that it did that. But yeah, let me talk about the zombie variations. The normal zombies, you cannot underestimate them. They will mess you up if you sleep on them. Trust me. You have the lickers, I think they're called. Basically, these are the ones that are, I don't know if you encountered them, Sentry, the super fast ones. These are,
Yeah.
super fast, but they're blind basically. So you have to walk by them very slowly. And if you even decide to run and stuff like that, I don't think they're killable. Maybe they are. I never tried to kill one because they were very scary. And by the time they found me out, I was already dead. But yeah, these run on the roof and lick you, and they hit you very fast. And you basically, the second you alert one, like if you accidentally run or do something that creates a huge noise and it's alerted to your presence, the best thing to do is to get out of that room, because if you stay there, you're not gonna make it. Okay, those were hard. The zombie dogs, they were hard too. Okay, I like the way they are, where they don't run at you and bite you automatically. You kind of have to like dip and dodge them. If you run to the side, because they basically like they'll basically like huddle up, and then they'll launch at you at a straight direct, like basically they'll launch at you. So basically you have to, when you encounter them, you have to run in different directions. They'll run circles around you and stuff like that. But they're very scary as well, and they're very hard to shoot. They run very fast. Okay, so I guess it's an equal trade-off. They're very hard to shoot, but again, they don't always hit you. You kind of have to, you're able to dodge them easier than you can most other zombies. So again, it all has its plus and minuses, and they're much easier to take down, but they're way harder to hit. So it balances out at the end. And I mean, the grandiose daddy of, I don't even know if he's a zombie or not, but Mr. X, jeez, you've given me and gamers everywhere a huge headache. I mean, am I crazy to say Mr. X is one of the best video game bosses like out, like in the last 10 years?
Yes, you are.
Like,
That's.
this.
I mean, he's scary, but I don't know about best video game boss.
Not best, but I'm saying like top. Like he's up there on like a top 5 list of like best video game bosses in the last 10 years. I mean, think about it. You basically, this is like, I don't know if it's like halfway through Leon's campaign that you encounter him, right? And then in Claire, I forgot where you encountered him, but basically after you encounter him, the game completely changes. Okay, first of all, the safe zones in the game, basically like the safe rooms and stuff like that, or like for example, the main hall in the police station was like your big like room that when you were in that room, you were safe. He can come into that room now, and that killed me.
Yeah,
when he went inside that room, oh my god, my heart dropped. It was the worst experience ever. And not only that, is that you can't stand for more than like a minute just standing still. Well, I wouldn't say a minute. You can't stand still for 2 minutes without him showing up to wherever the hell you are. So the second he shows up, the pace of the game increases by tenfold. Okay, I would literally sit in a room or sit in the main lobby for like 10 minutes planning out my strategies and stuff like that. I couldn't do that anymore. Okay, I mean, I'd have to pause the game basically for that. This guy really changes the pace of the game, and that's why I think he's such a great boss, is because it's not even like the boss fight or anything. It's that he literally changes the second he shows up. It's like when I watched the review for Infinity Wars, they're saying like, oh, the second Thanos shows up to Earth, like stuff gets real. Like things start hitting the fan, things go south really quick. And I have that same feeling with Mr. X. The second he shows up in your game, the game just got 5 times harder. You get me? So, and you'll have these combinations of like, okay, you'll be in a room and you'll have a bunch of lickers around you, so you have to move very slowly. And then there's a zombie moving behind you, but you can kind of maybe outwalk it at a slow pace, but you can outwalk it, even though you have to walk slow. Again, they're zombies, so they're slow as heck. But then you hear those footsteps, boom, 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 and then you have to decide: am I gonna run? Am I gonna run and get hit by the lickers? What's gonna happen? You have to start thinking of your strategy, and then sometimes you get cornered or something. And again, the game gives you genuine scares. There's rarely any cutscenes like where basically something happens in front of you and it's like, oh, be scared, be very scared. Like, no, most of the scares happen genuinely. You'll see that a lot from the gameplay video that I filmed. And but what a scary game, and what a great game, honestly. So yeah, I talked about the graphics, talked about the gameplay, the sound. Essentially, what you think of the sound design in the game?
The sound design is unparalleled. Like, I mean, all horror games have to have great sound to make a great horror game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no complaints there. Like, it's really great. I mean, the 3D sound, I don't know. I mean, it's exciting to have. It's just incredible. It's really great.
So yeah, basically it's like a I forgot the ambiance. Oh my god, the ambiance. You hear things crack, you hear things fall. You're looking over your shoulder. That silence. Oh my god, it's scary, yo. It's honestly, it puts you in like that mood. Okay, and you're always gonna be looking over your shoulder because you're gonna hear drops of water drip from like the ceiling and stuff like that, and you're gonna hear small details here and there. I mean, wow, good job, Capcom. Honestly, tip to the cap to you guys. Great game. The sound design was just and then again, the story, I enjoyed the story. Leon and Claire's story, they both had really good campaigns. Basically, they each lasted, I heard, around like 6 hours. Leon, at least the first time around, took me a little bit longer. I felt like he took me around like maybe 8 or 9 hours. I didn't check, but Claire, I got through her campaign a little bit faster. So yeah, I guess learning basically the mechanics of the game and stuff like that take me a little bit longer, at least for me, since I kind of suck with horror games because I get scared easily. So kind of took me a little bit longer to get used to. But it again, wow, like the campaign will last you probably around like 12 to 15, maybe 16 hours. Not super long, but they also have a bunch of extra modes to keep you a little bit busy, like after the game and stuff like that. There's the infamous and amazing tofu mode.
That's the most immersive.
It is literally the greatest mode ever created in video game history. I mean, I can't think of any mode better. So basically, you don't replay the campaign. You basically play a really hard, like you basically get put in a very hard place, in a location. I think it's the same place, right? The same police station. But it's basically like the difficulty is turned up like times 10, right? Like it's turned up like a lot more.
Yeah, it's much more difficult.
Yeah.
Remember, you're much bigger. Like, you're chubbier.
And the reason why you're bigger is because you basically play the entire game as a giant piece or a giant block of tofu. And it's kind of immersive because when the zombies bite you, you have like bite marks everywhere of tofu. I don't know why they did this. I don't know if this is like a running joke with the Resident Evil series or with Capcom. I had fun with it. It kept me busy for a few, minutes because that game is that mode was very hard. So I didn't try to complete it or do anything in that mode. I just played it, had some fun, and then left. But there's a few extra modes to keep you busy and keep you going. The game was great. I don't want to give it a score. I don't know about giving games scores. I love watching people that give game scores, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan of, telling people this game was like a 9 overall or something like that, and it's like anybody who plays this game is gonna love it. No, okay, if you're not into horror games, don't play this game. But if you're into action horror, get this game. If you're into horror, get this game. If you're into action games that take a little bit of strategy and planning towards it, there's a lot of strategic stuff you have to do. Like, you have to plan out stuff, and you have to solve a lot of puzzles. If you like solving puzzles as well, that's perfect for you. And again, I think that this game implemented, like, those people hate games that have a lot of timers. This game has a lot of unseen timers with Mr. X, basically, when he shows up. I think this game mastered timers. First of all, it did it by not giving you a timer. It's not like Mr. X shows up in 10 seconds. Like, no. You're going to find out you're going to hear his footsteps get louder. You're going to hear him get closer. And if, I love that. I love the way it basically has an entire timer for almost literally two halves of a campaign. And it's not annoying. It's actually scary. At times it was frustrating, but very scary nonetheless. So again, if you enjoy any of the things I just said, like puzzle solving, a lot of puzzle solving, backtracking, and trust me, the backtracking doesn't sound bad. Trust me, I backtracked a lot, and in areas that I was very familiar with, I still ended up getting spooked with, especially after Mr. X shows up. So yeah, any closing notes or remarks you have, Sentry, about it?
No, I mean, it was you basically pointed out everything. It was a great game. It is a great game. The sound design, everything's about it is perfect. I mean, for a horror game.
Yeah, I can't really find any huge negative thing that it has where I'm like, oh my god, this sucked.
It has different it has if you want a really hard mode, it's harder to you can play the hardest mode where it's hard to save. I mean, it has everything. I mean, that you could want.
Yeah, I'm trying to find imperfections with it. Not many. I mean, man, just try it. Okay. The only thing I could say, the campaigns, after I finished them, I was like, I wish they were longer. But that's kind of like a good thing. I had so much fun. I wish they could have lasted a little bit longer. But again, still.
But there's so many different modes.
I mean,
it'll be plenty of hours.
The extra modes are fine. They're okay. They're great. But again, nothing beats the campaign. The campaign was hands down, one of the best. It's one of the best single player experiences I've had in a long time. So, and again, I'm still happy that single player games are still killing it. So it kind of sticks it up to, against it's kind of like a what's the word? It's like a middle finger to all these, huge companies that think multiplayer only games are the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, they said that at the beginning of last year.
They were so wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong.
And they were stupid because Zelda Breath of the Wild. I mean, there were so many single player
Mario,
that came
Spider-Man.
out 2 years ago. Why would and they still said that. It was like,
Spider-Man, God of War. Here's the thing. Red Dead Redemption 2, single player. When the single player came out, one of the greatest games ever. The multiplayer came out, it's whatever. It's kind of it's like people were saying, they need to update it. They need to add this and do that to this and stuff like that. And I had a lot, and people complain a lot about the multiplayer. And but yet before the multiplayer came out, it was considered one of the greatest games of all time. I mean, it's still considered a great game, amazing game, but the multiplayer, people felt like it needed a lot of work, and I just like goes to show that single player matters. Because if Red Dead would have just released Red Dead Online with no single player campaign, it wouldn't have been so hot. It wouldn't have done so good. You get me? So great job, great job. One little last piece of news that we wanted to talk to. Before we won't spend too much time on this, especially because I gotta go to sleep. It's 1 a.m. So yeah, I really gotta go to sleep. But Metro Exodus, the basically the developer for Metro Exodus, kind of made some comments, and let me just give you like the background of what happened. So basically, the developers for Metro Exodus, I mean, if you could look it up, Sentry, the what the company was called,
Deep Silver.
Yeah,
Deep was their publisher, and I forgot what they're called.
Yeah. So okay, so
some like Polish or Russian name.
Well, so what had happened was that the publishers had made a deal with
4A Games.
What is it?
The developers are 4A Games.
Oh, okay, 4A Games.
And then the
Deep Silver's the publisher. So the publisher struck a deal with Epic Games, right? It was Epic?
Yes, Epic Games.
Yeah, with Epic Games, the Epic Games store, basically to release exclusively on there. But again, if you pre-ordered it on Steam already, before that announcement was made, they are going to honor that pre-order, and you're going to be able to play it on Steam. But if you want it now, the only way to get it is through Epic Games. When people saw that and people heard that, a lot of people said, we're going to boycott your game, and we're going to either not play it or pirate it, because we don't want to get another, we don't want to download another launch. And again, I'm new to PC gaming. I've mostly been like a console peasant my entire life. I mean, I just recently got a strong enough PC to run decent or good games on. So I was kind of talking to Sentry. Sentry, you're more expert on PC gaming. I'm like, is using different launchers that big of a deal or that big of a hustle?
You saw already how it's already a hassle just to play Apex.
Yeah, for
now
Origins.
Imagine now you have to have Epic. You have to have, if you want to play Blizzard games, Battle.net, Ubisoft games, the Ubisoft launcher. Man.
It could get annoying. Like, seeing that, honestly, yeah, it could get annoying. So I see.
Look, like right now, I don't have Epic games. I don't have anything. Like, I wasn't playing any Epic games or whatever, but it's on.
And it's
annoying me.
Yeah, I get you. And it's killing, it's taking out, like, it's using up performance. It kills your performance a little bit too, so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so, again, because I think they made more money. I forgot what the percentage was, but they made slightly more money on every purchase of Metro Exodus on Epic Games, right? So, I consider it a problem, but it wasn't this huge problem. But the developers of Metro kind of blew it out of proportions. Again, I never think it's right for you to threaten a company with pirating their games. I mean, they worked very hard on that, and for you to basically say, yeah, we're gonna steal all the hard work you did and make sure you get no money from it. I feel like you should never threaten somebody with that. I mean, it's theft basically you're threatening with. So. But the Metro Exodus, what was it, the developers or the publishers that responded?
The developer, apparently it was a developer that was very angry, but we don't know.
So the developer
They claim to be a developer.
Okay, so basically a team from Metro Exodus made comments saying, look, basically they said, if you guys are really going to boycott our game, we're just not going to make any games for PC. Period. Okay, and they said we don't care about you guys. You guys are irrelevant. The people that are saying these things are irrelevant, and we don't care about them. And again, I don't know what the exact comments were, but they were just very dismissive and disrespectful to like the PC community. I wouldn't say in general, but to the people that made those comments and stuff. But the fact that you threatened the entire PC community by basically saying we're never gonna develop games for you guys again, or at least for like the meantime, it's not a smart move to do. again, it's not right the way they treated you. I think you should have said, I don't think it's right for you guys to threaten to pirate our games and stuff like that. And again, it's not. But the way they responded was, to me, it blew this whole situation out of hand. And I feel a lot of people are going to protest now and boycott the game now purely based on like the comments that were made. You get me?
Yeah.
Is there, and again, they apologized, and the publishers were saying that the developers were the ones that made this comments. Look, my only question would be, Sentry, how could you see them fixing this? How can you see them fixing this debacle?
I mean, just go with it. Just leave it alone. Just release it. I mean, people are gonna still play it. You know. Just, yeah, you can't really do anything. I'm sure they already signed a contract, so just don't say anything else about it. And, I mean,
yeah.
you know, if I don't know. It seems like, you know, I'm pretty sure like they signed a contract and all. And I know why, like, a lot of people, you know, they want Steam is just more convenient. It works perfect. But all these other launchers are competing against each other. Like, not only Origin, you know, like the EA is Origin, and then there's the other guy, the other one from like the developers of the Witcher games.
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But, well, I think that they could fix this. Well, again, I don't know, because they would have to lose money, and I don't know if Deep Silver is that big of a company. They're not a EA or Activision, so. But my way to resolve this would be to basically, instead of making it, because I think it was for an entire year.
GLG, you know,
well, okay, yeah,
Origin,
but
Store, of course.
But correct.
I forgot. I have Bethesda launcher too. Oh my god.
But I'm saying, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were gonna make it exclusive on Steam for exclusive on Epic for a year or maybe for life. I don't know. I think, look, come out, release on Epic for a week, exclusively on Epic, so your dedicated fan base can buy those games, and again, you get that extra little piece of revenue. Then the week after that, you open it on on Steam, and you give it a little bit of a discount. Not a huge discount. Don't give it 50% off, but maybe, 55, 40, $45, something like that, as sort of like an apology. And again, offer a bunch more apologies, and maybe, maybe then I see players can kind of forgive it. Because at the end of the day, it looks like a great game, and I don't want to see a great game not get like the buys that it deserves, because I think it sends a bad message. Because the thing is, companies are very selective to the message that they hear. So again, if a company, for example, EA was there, oh, look what Fortnite is doing, we're gonna do the same thing with Anthem, but we're gonna charge you $60 for it. So it's like, hold up. And again, I'm not saying they're the same game, but they're charging like $10 a skin or something like that. Again, they took that from Fortnite, but they didn't look at the fact that Fortnite was free. So a company's gonna look and be like, huh, you know what? Doesn't matter how good a game is, because Metro Exodus was a great game.
Mean, Apex, the skins are almost like about $8 each. A little bit less, but it's worth it. It's a free game, so.
Yeah, it's a free game, so they actually copy that aspect, right? But still, the way I feel is that if the companies might be like, oh, look, all you gotta do is treat the gamers right. You don't even have to make a good game. All you gotta say is nice things, and that's it. You'll sell a lot. So I don't want companies to take that away from this whole situation. That's why I kind of hope Metro Exodus does do well. I just hope that they, apologize and do, basically hopefully give everybody a little bit of discount and release on Steam, and hopefully everybody will be happy. So yeah, Century, you have anything more to add on that?
No, you basically said everything.
Wow, we actually hit an hour. Well, it's 59 minutes, but it's pretty perfect. I didn't think thought it was gonna be a little shorter episode, but guess not. But yeah. So we covered a lot of gaming news, a lot of stuff happening. I'll talk about my first impressions of Kingdom Hearts later on throughout the week. Great game so far, so I'll let you guys know, about it later on, and yeah, that seems about it. So this is Champion signing out.
This is Century signing out.
And have a good one, guys.